Welcome back. In this session, we are going to understand multi-stage Docker build. What is multi-stage Docker build? We will understand in a moment. But first, let's understand. Let's say if you have a application and if you want to run this application in production, then what do you need? So let's say this is the virtual machine. And in this virtual machine, if you want to run this application, then what do we need? So if this application, let's assume this needs nginx, nginx to run the application, then we need the nginx, correct? Now on top of that, this application code need to be compiled, right? So once this code will be compiled, then this will create the binary of the application, and this code we will put it in this VM and do the configuration, and then this will run. This is what we need. So to run this application, we need the runtime. So maybe nginx, or maybe if Node.js, it could be Node.js. Then we need Node.js runtime here, and then this application need to be compiled because machine don't understand our code. So basically this need to be compiled. Once this will compile, then it create the binary, and this binary we need to put in our machine and configure, and this will run. So finally, to run this application, we only need the runtime and we need the binary and nothing else. But if you remember, when we have built our application in the previous session, then it has everything, right? So we built our application on the same virtual machine. What does it mean? In this virtual machine, we have the compiler, right? We have compiler, we have all different tools that's really not needed once this binary is got created. Because of this, our image become so heavy. So when you are running our application in the final stage, we don't need anything. We literally not need compiler. We not need any application development dependencies, compiler, or any unnecessary tool like curl, ping, apt. Our application is running fine. We really not need all those things, at least when this is running in the production. So we only need the runtime and the application binary. But in reality, if you see, let's go back to the previous session application here, and let me delete this, just give me a moment, delete this. And here, if we see, let me open our docker file, list docker file. So here we have did everything, right? So this is our base image, and then we have the application, then we have installed all dependencies, right? And then we copied everything in the container, then we are running our container. Do we really need everything, all these development dependencies? Really not needed, right? So all this when run on the single machine, compiler, all system dependencies, so this makes our container image heavy. How heavy? Now let's see this. If you go ahead and run here docker images, we see image size of this container is 1 GB. If you see, our application code is just 2 files, right? It is just couple of MB, and to run this application we have image size of 1 GB. This is really not neat. And why not neat? Because this creates problems. What problem this creates? Let's understand this. So this creates problems like it's has the huge size. It has the huge size. So To reduce this use size, what we can do, we can use multi-stage build. How it works, I will explain you in a moment. But now question is, why do we need it? Because we want to reduce the image size. So we want to remove all unnecessary development dependencies. Compiler, all development tool that is really not needed at the final production image when we are running our application. Another reason we should use multi-stage to make our production image smaller because of security improvement. So when our final production image has unnecessary tool, unnecessary software, compiler, it means all those need to be updated over time. Otherwise, this will create the security issues, right? And same time, this give the access to the hackers. If this is available, if any hackers get access of it, then they can use this tool to expose our application. So because of this, this is really not needed. And again, when we are building a image, then it's, we don't have the multiple layers, we only have the limited layers, then it speeds up the building our images. Now you may be thinking, how does this really works? Now let's understand this. So in multi-stage build, we have two stages. One stage where we need a compiler, we need a dependencies, compiler, dependencies, and all necessary tool for what? To build the application. But as soon as our application will be built, then we need only final compiled binary of our application, and the rest of things we not need. Okay, so what we do, we have the one build. In that build, what we do, we will have the everything's compiler, dependencies, all told. Then we create the final binary of the application. Then we will have another build, final build, where we copy this final binary minimum application that what we need to run, copy this, and then all any necessary file that what we need, and leave everything on this first stage. Okay, then we run our application. So what happened, we eliminate all unnecessary component, and finally our final image become leaner, more efficient, and production ready. Now let's understand this with example, then it will make more sense. So let me show you example of the multi-stage Node.js application build. So this is our single stage. So what is you see here? So we have the node base image, then we have the application, then application dependencies file. We're installing it and we're copying everything, and from the same image we are running our application. Now what happened in the multi-stage? Multi-stage, you will see we have here two stages. So this is the first stage, and then we have the second stage. Now let's understand this. So what we are doing here, we are getting node 18 base image, because to compile the application we need node, otherwise we are not able to compile it. So because of that, we are using node base image, then we are giving this as a tag. I will tell you why do we need this. Then what we are doing, of course we have the setting up the working directory, then we are copying package.json, then we are installing all dependency. After that, we are copying all the file, then we are building our application using npm run build. Okay, now what happened when we run this command npm run build? Okay, let me delete this, npm run build. So what is true, it's create gist folder inside our application, inside the application directory. It will create this folder, in this folder it will put binary of the application. Now what we are doing, then we have here next stage. So let's understand. Here we have the stage 2 where we are using Node 18 Alpine. So Node 18 Alpine is lightweight node image which has only Node.js and nothing else, no other tool. So this is lightweight. So we are here building next stage with Node Alpine, which is already lightweight, which has only Node.js. Then we are setting the working directory. Then we are copying from build. What is build? This build is here, this build. So from the stage 1 you said, so from node 18 as build, we are set up as a name here. Okay, this stage we set as a name a build. We are saying from build copy what? Application and gist. So as I said, when we run this command npm run build, so it will create a folder called dist, and on this dist it will have application binary. So that we are copying where? In this application in dot dist, and then we are again copying our node module. So node module has the all libraries that's got installed to run this application. We are copying this, then we are exposing the port and running the application. Now you see, when our image will get create, then it only going to use this. It will completely exclude this part. So what happening in the this stage? This stage we are using lightweight Node.js based image. Then we are only copying the application binary, then running the application. So this will be lightweight. This will I will show you in the next session when I'm going to do the hands-on session. Now you understood how we are building a multi-stage Docker image. Now what is the benefit of it? What get improved here? So as I said, so in build stage, right, when we are in the build stage here, in this build stage, right, in build stage what happened? We had all dependencies. We install all dependencies and compile the application, and after that when we need to run the application in the production, right, we are copying only the application code, okay, and making it lighter. So this is very standard process what we use inside the industry. And as I said, this had multiple benefits, like we have reduced image, less prone to security, and when especially when you are going to build this image from the CI/CD pipeline, right? So you not need to upload and download 1 GB of image. You know what will be image? If you follow this step to build it, it will be maybe around 10 to 15 MB. Yes, you will be surprised when I'm going to show you in the next session. Well, so that's pretty much I wanted to cover here. Thank you so much. See you in the next session.